Very good morning, students. Standard 7 student. In the last session, already we had started your 7th chapter of history, the administration of Swaraj. Within that introduction, Ashtrapradhan Mandal, then policy regarding agriculture and village economy. These points already we studied. Now the next point, trade and business. Maharaj knew that a kingdom does not prosper without an increase in trade. Merchants bring novel goods as also certain necessity into kingdom. Goods become available in plenty, trade prosperous, adding to wealth. The view that Maharaj took of the merchants is seen in the Ajna Patra, where merchants are described as follows. Merchants are the ornaments of the kingdom and the glory of the king. It was the policy of Maharaj to protect the industries. An excellent example of this is the salt industry. He protected the salt industry in Konkan. At that time, traders imported salt from the Portuguese territory and sold in Swaraj. That affected the local trade in Konkan areas. So Maharaj charged heavy duty on the salt import from the Portuguese. The intention was that the salt imported from the Portuguese territory would then cost more. As a result, its import would decrease and sale of the local salt would increase. Then the military organization. There were two main divisions of the army Shivaji Maharaj had, infantry and cavalry. The infantry, there were officers such as Havaldar, Jumeldar, etc. The chief of the infantry was called Sarnobat. He was the highest officer in infantry. In the cavalry, there were two types of cavalrymen, namely Shiledas and Buggies. The Shiledar had his own horse and weapons. The Buggies was provided with a horse and weapons by the state. In the cavalry, Buggies were more in number. The rank of the cavalry officers was similar to those of the infantry officers. The highest officer in cavalry was the Sarnobat. Netaji Palkar, Prataprao Gujjar, Hambirrao Mohite were some of the famous Sarnobat of cavalry. Next point, intelligence department. It was necessary to protect the Swaraj from its enemies. For this point of view, to get the precise information about the movements of enemy, it was the job of intelligence department to obtain information of the movements of the enemies and submit to Maharaj. The intelligence service of Maharaj was very efficient. Bahirji Naik was the head of this intelligence department. He was extremely skilled in his job. He collected accurate and detailed information about Surat before the raid on Surat. Next point, forts. Forts were of great importance in the medieval age. Possession of a fort made it possible to keep an eye on the surrounding area. In case of foreign invasion, it was possible to protect the people taking shelter in the fort. It was possible to stock the fort with food grains, war material, ammunition and military garrison. The importance of the fort in the foundation of Swaraj is well stated in the Ajna Patra. This kingdom was created by the late reverted and extinct Majesty forts alone. There were about 300 forts in the Swaraj. Maharaj spent a considerable amount of money on building and repairs of these forts. He built hill forts like Pratapgarh, Pavangarh, Rajgarh. There was a Kiledar, Sabnis and a Karkhanis on every fort. Karkhanis look after the storage and food grains and maintenance of war material was the duty of this Karkhanis. Then sea fort. Maharaj knew the importance of sea forts too. One of the sea forts that he built was Sindhudurg at Malwan. It is an excellent sea fort to give strength to the concentration of the fort. 5 khandis of lead was poured into its foundation. A sea fort called Padmadurga was built in the fort of Rajapuri in order to counter the Siddhi power. About this fort, Maharaj had said in a letter that by constructing Padmadurga, he had set up another Rajapuri to overshadow the Rajapuri of the Siddhi. Then Navy. Enemies on west coast of India, the Portuguese of Goa, the Siddhi of Janjira and British factors of Surat and Rajapur created obstacles in the work of expanding the Swaraj. To give the counter answers for these enemies, it was necessary to curb their activities and to protect the west coast. For this purpose, Maharaj raised a navy. He realized that the one who has a navy controls the sea. Maharaj has a great foresight. There were 400 ships of various kinds in his navy. They included battleships like Gurab, Galbat and Pal. Ships were built in the creek of Kalyan, Bhiwandi, Vijayadurga and Malwan. Mayank, Bhandari and Daulat Khan were the chief naval commanders that time. Now the concerned subjects of his welfare. Maharaj did not work only with the limited ambition of conquering enemy territories and establishing dominance like other kings. His main objective was to make his subjects independent. He was aware that if his subjects were to really get the joy of freedom, it was necessary to have a disciplined administration, take comprehensive care of people's welfare and protect the conquered territories. Maharaj was not only merely a ruler, he was a watchful administrator who cared for his people's welfare. This is clearly seen in his administration of the state. Thank you, student.